Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've been in the market for a home office projector for a while, and the first thing that trips me up is the wave of cheap, low lumens units that promise big screen but end up looking like a blurry backlit billboard on a sunny afternoon. The regret of that mistake shows up quickly. You're left squinting at a washed out image, or you have to crank the room's lights down to a level that feels more like a theater than a living room. That's why I wanted to see if the Optoma ZH401e actually feels like a smarter buy rather than just another high-priced hype machine. The ZH401e is marketed as a full HD laser projector with 4,600 lumens and a maintenance-free light source. Those numbers look impressive on paper, but the real question is how they translate when you actually set it up for a weekly movie night, a daily Zoom call, or a quarterly business presentation. I spent a couple of weeks moving it around my apartment, my home office, and even a small community center where I volunteer to run workshops. Below is what I learned about the practical side of owning this thing. First off, the brightness claim is where the ZH401e separates itself from the budget crowd. I tested it in 3 different lighting conditions: a completely dark living room, a moderately lit kitchen where the overhead bulbs stay on, and a bright conference room with windows that let in daylight. In the dark room, the image was crisp, with deep blacks that still held detail. In the kitchen, the 4,600 lumens output meant the picture stayed vivid without needing to pull the blinds, something you rarely see with 2,500 lumens consumer models. Even in the conference room, the projected image held up enough to read fine text on a PowerPoint slide, although you do still get a slight wash on pure white backgrounds. If you're someone who can't control ambient light, say a shared office space or a living room that doubles as a TV area, the extra lumens are a real advantage. The laser light source is another headline feature that actually matters. Traditional lamp-based projectors need a bulb change every couple of thousand hours, and that cost can add up quickly. Optoma's DuraCore laser is rated for 30,000 hours, which translates to roughly 10 years of daily 2-hour use before you'd think about replacement. In my daily use, I never noticed any dimming or color shift, even after a few hundred hours, which suggests the maintenance-free claim isn't just marketing fluff. That also means you avoid the hassle of buying a new lamp, dealing with hazardous disposal, and recalibrating the image after each change. One thing that many reviewers overlook is the IP6X dust-resistant rating. The projector is sealed tightly enough to keep dust out, which is a blessing when you live in a city with construction or you have a pet that likes to shed. During my test period, the unit sat on a shelf in a hallway where dust tends to accumulate, yet the image stayed clear and the fan noise remained constant. For anyone who plans to mount the projector near a ceiling vent or in a workshop, that dust protection adds a layer of reliability you don't get from cheap units that choke up after a few months. Installation flexibility is also worth mentioning. The ZH401e uses a regular throw distance, meaning you don't need a dedicated short throw mount to get a 100-inch picture from a reasonable distance. I placed it on a rolling cart about 8 feet from the wall, and with a simple keystone correction I could line up the image without any noticeable distortion. The external power supply is a bit of a double-edged sword. On the plus side, the projector itself stays cooler because the heat-generating transformer lives outside the chassis, which helps maintain the laser's longevity. On the downside, you end up with an extra cable running from the projector to the wall outlet, which can look untidy if you're trying to hide everything behind a screen. A neat cable management solution or a short power strip solves it, but it's something to consider if you're aiming for a clean, minimalist setup. Now, who should actually consider buying the ZH401e? If you're a home theater enthusiast who wants a bright, sharp picture without the constant worry of lamp replacements, this is a solid candidate. It's also a practical choice for small businesses that need a reliable presentation tool that can run for years without a service call. Teachers or community volunteers who move a projector between rooms will appreciate the dust resistance and the fact that the unit can be set up quickly without a lot of calibration. The price point sits in the mid-range for laser projectors, so it's not cheap, but it's also far below the professional-grade models that start in the several thousands. On the flip side, there are scenarios where the ZH401e might feel like overkill. If you only plan to use the projector once a month for casual movie streaming in a dark bedroom, a lower lumens, lamp-based unit will likely meet your needs and cost less. Likewise, if